Tonight, can Spurs end 17 years of hurt?
Oh, when the Spurs go marching!
A showdown in Bilbao. Tottenham take on Manchester United in the Europa League final. Victory for the North London side would mean their first piece of silverware in almost 2 decades.
Obviously, we know it's been a difficult season for them in the league, but they have a chance to really, go down in history for the club.
For fans, a win would be some compensation for a disastrous season. We'll be in Spain and at the Spurs Stadium, where big screens will play out all the drama as it happens. Also ahead. Children as young as 10 carrying blades. Knife crime has blighted the capital for too long. The college in Croydon doing its best to tackle the problem. Will you soon be living in a 20-mile-per-hour zone? TfL says crashes and deaths are down, but some want to apply the brakes on a total rollout. And
I got really quite ill and ended up in hospital with an infection.
the Made in Chelsea star who almost lost his life to sepsis, now warning others. Good evening. It's been 17 years since Tottenham Hotspur won a trophy. 41 years since they won anything in Europe. Tonight, though, fans are hoping that will all change. In a few hours, the North London side take on Manchester United in a huge Europa League final in Bilbao. At stake, a place in next season's Champions League, and for beleaguered manager Ange Postecoglou, his reputation. After 21 losses in the Premier League, the Spurs boss is under increasing pressure to deliver. In a moment, we'll be live at Spurs Stadium and in Bilbao. But first, Rags Martel heard from fans and a Tottenham legend.
Spurs in Spain. Players and fans in Bilbao. Here for the full English final against Man U. But getting there hasn't been easy. ITV News has followed these supporters' 22-hour journey via Eurostar.
The overnight sleeper train, following these cars, and I know where we're going.
And after the overnight train, a car journey, all for £600.
Spurs fans in the background. Right, after 22 hours of travelling, finally made it to Bilbao. Hoping that the team can evoke the spirit of Bill, Nick, Keith Birkinshaw and all the boys back in the day. Come on, you Spurs! Come on, Spurs!
But despite all the excitement, tonight's Europa League match has been called the losers' final by some, a battle between the 16th and 17th place team in the Premier League. Big Ange, aware he's got little time left at the club, and showing irritation when he was likened to a clown by a journalist.
I'll tell you one thing, irrespective of tomorrow, I'm not a clown. I never will be, mate. For you to suggest that somehow us not being successful means that I'm a clown, not really sure how to answer that question.
If you win that trophy, we can change the mentality, we can change the history.
Talking about history, there's a website that counts how many days and years it's been since Tottenham last won a trophy. And there's even a club word for failing in the finals, Spursy. But one former captain recently won his first career trophy and will be watching tonight.
Obviously, we know it's been a difficult season for them in the league, but they have a chance to really, go down in history for the club. It'll be a special game. It'll be strange for me to be watching, as a fan, but, I'm wishing them all the best. The fans deserve to have that joy, that celebration that they've been waiting for a long time now.
But for many Tottenham fans, getting to Spain was either too complicated or too expensive. So the next best thing is watching it here at Tottenham Stadium.
Come on, you Spurs, let's bring it home. This club has been labelled something that I don't really want to mention on camera, but it's called Spursy. I think everyone knows it, the media talk about it. It's the only club that have a name branded to not getting over the line, not having success. And we actually have a chance to change that brand and bring it forward to 2025 and beyond. So we can actually end that right now, today, together.
From Bilbao to the big screen here in Tottenham, Spurs fans are still daring to dream.
Come on, you Spurs.
Yeah, and Rags, for fans who couldn't make it out to Spain, I guess the Tottenham Stadium there is the best option, isn't it?
That's right, Lou. Who would want to be in sunny Bilbao when you can be here in sunny Tottenham? Let's take a look at the stadium. They've just started letting fans in. There's not that many in. They used to open the doors about 5 minutes ago, but they've sold 45,000 tickets here. So there'll be more Spurs fans in this stadium than in Bilbao. We mentioned it's a losers final, but there's a huge, huge prize for the winner. Qualification for the Champions League, amazingly, and a potential earning of £100 million. But for the fans, it's about that ending those 17 years of hurt, 41 years of European hurt. They're not favourites tonight. Manchester United are, but there's a big but. Spurs haven't won many games this season, but they've beaten Manchester United 3 times. So in the club motto, they have to dare and they have to do. Back to you.
They really do. Rags, for the moment, thank you. Well, the atmosphere in North London is nothing, of course, compared to that in Bilbao right now, where fans have travelled thousands of miles to be part of the action. David Chisnell is there for us too.
Yes, welcome to the banks of the River Nervion here in Bilbao. Behind me is the Estadio de San Mamés, the venue for tonight's big Europa League final and a final destination for thousands of Tottenham fans who've made their way out here by planes, trains, cars, coaches, whatever means possible to be here for tonight's big game. Well, we've been out and about speaking to Spurs fans ahead of the final in the city today. There's been excitement, there's been nerves, there's also been confidence, though, that their team can end the club's 41-year wait to win a European title.
Oh, when the Spurs go marching in.
Gordon, I'm going to put you on the spot. Give me a score prediction.
2-1 Tottenham. Really warm reception in the city from the locals. They all want Spurs to win as we do.
This is a sliding doors moment for Tottenham Hotspur.
Don't have a ticket, so I'm going to watch it here on one of the big screens, but happy to be here anyway.
I'll be going in, so I can't wait. Hopefully it's going to be a bit better than it was in Madrid.
It'll be a massive uplift for the club.
Yeah, Champions League football next season. Yeah, I mean, it's amazing.
And I wish these players could just, we said, to come in here today and look at all these fans, see how much it means to us all. You know,
really
Man United have done it all, you know. I know we've been to all these finals, but come on, today, do it for us, do it for us.
Do it for the fans.
Well, while it's been a Premier League season to forget for Tottenham, the fans who've travelled out here to Spain for the Europa League final tonight will hope this will be a European adventure to remember.
David Chisnell in Bilbao there. Right, on to other news now. And families impacted by knife crime have been at Croydon College today, warning young people about the lifelong consequences of carrying blades. One of those speaking was Talisha Gupal, whose brother Jermaine was stabbed to death 7 years ago. Now she takes bleed kits into schools where children as young as 10 have told her they carry a knife. Helen Keenan reports.
You would tie it round really quickly, so you can use any piece of clothing, but you tighten it.
Primary schools are being given these kits because children that young are carrying knives.
So there's a need for 9-year-olds?
Yes.
Are people that age carrying knives?
Oh yeah. I can't disclose what school, but I went into a primary school and a child disclosed to me, a 10-year-old child disclosed to me that they had a knife on them on that day. And that was just through me sharing my story around losing my brother.
Her brother, Jermaine Gupal, was 15 when he was stabbed repeatedly. 4 people were jailed for his murder in 2018. That's when she created these bleed kits that are spread across Croydon.
That's the sad reality that we're living in.
Teenager Aaron Malley, seen here on the left, was stabbed and murdered in Croydon in 2017. On the right is his brother Ramon, who was convicted this year for stabbing a man to death.
Effectively, I've lost both of my boys.
Their dad has chosen to remain anonymous. He spoke exclusively to ITV News London.
It's just devastating. It's not how you envisage your life to go. It's just left me feeling empty.
What do you think needs to change then to protect more young people?
There's a lot of guys out there who want to be that gangster, but that's not really who they are. But because they see society giving adulation They want to be like that.
Both families were at Croydon College today for Knife Crime Awareness Week.
And it's nice to come into a college facility where it just feels like a safe space where people don't have to walk with weapons.
Young people here tell me the murder of Eliane Andam has had a huge impact. Stabbed repeatedly in a row over a teddy bear outside a shopping centre in Croydon. They say since then, more girls are choosing to carry knives for protection.
For it to happen to a female, then a female gonna think, oh, I'm not safe, so I have to carry this just to be safe.
Yeah.
So that's how some people think nowadays.
That's the impact now that it has on everybody.
Do you think more girls are now carrying knives?
Yep.
Tonight, others impacted by knife crime will meet with the government, with the message that it is preventable, not inevitable. Helen Keenan, ITV News.
The family of a firefighter who died at a former RAF base in Oxfordshire last week have described him as the true definition of a hero. Martin Sadler, who worked for both Oxfordshire County Council's Fire and Rescue Service and London Fire Brigade, died alongside firefighter Jenny Logan and a member of the public, David Chester. In a statement, Martin's family said they are immensely proud. The R&B singer Chris Brown has been released on bail by a judge at Southwark Crown Court. The American musician is charged with grievous bodily harm over an alleged bottle attack at a London nightclub 2 years ago. Brown must pay a £5 million security fee to the court and is allowed to continue with his scheduled tour this year. And footballer J. Emmanuel Thomas has pleaded guilty to attempting to smuggle cannabis through Stansted Airport. The striker, who came through the Arsenal Academy, was trying to bring £600,000 worth of the drug into the UK from Thailand. Next tonight, if you don't already live in a 20-mile-per-hour zone, that could be about to change. Over half of London's roads now have reduced speed limits and, according to Transport for London, boroughs with them have seen a big drop in crashes and deaths, which certainly backs up the Mayor's plans for a further rollout next year. Here's our political correspondent, Simon Harris.
It's a trend which is going in one direction. More than half of London's roads have had the speed limit cut to 20. Some Londoners are fans, others, especially drivers, are exasperated.
There are certainly plenty of roads around London where it just seems nonsense. I feel like I could get out and walk quicker.
I use a car a lot and I'm more than happy to travel at 20 miles per hour.
I think there are some places it's probably not wholly appropriate in that, there are some roads that don't have all this mix of people and everything else, and there are people just trying to get somewhere a little bit quicker.
In 20 London boroughs, 20 is now the default speed limit. The other 12, mostly in outer London, have kept it at 30. Transport for London claims new research shows the 20 limit saves lives.
The changes that have been made on TfL roads, the main roads, over the last few years has seen a 25% reduction in people being killed, a 60% reduction in the number of pedestrians being hit. All of this research begins to stack up all around London, showing it saves lives.
The new speed limits are catching some drivers out.
I've just left my office where a gentleman has brought in 4 summonses, single justice procedure notices, within 4 weeks of each other. 24, 25, I think there was a 26 and another 24. He's going to lose his licence. You could argue he shouldn't be driving at 24 mile an hour. The man works nights.
The lower limit doesn't just apply to side roads. This is the A41 Finchley Road at Swiss Cottage, one of the main arterial trunk routes into London. Despite being a multi-lane highway, the speed limit is 20, if you can actually get to 20. The radio disc jockey Tony Blackburn isn't a fan. He tweeted, "This is where the 20 mile an hour limit is stupid. This is Finchley Road, London, and I was travelling in at 4:30 this morning at 20 miles an hour. Come on, this is just stupid."
It causes all these traffic jams for absolutely nothing. It doesn't achieve anything.
20 miles per hour is good.
Sometimes it makes more traffic than it helps, but probably could save life.
The lower speed limit is part of the Mayor's Vision Zero, aimed at ending all road deaths. TfL plans more 20 mile an hour zones next year. Simon Harris, ITV News, Southwark.
Still to come. With the transfer window looming, Arsenal attacker Chloe Kelly tells us her heart is red. And where's Sally?
If I was doing this, I would have just stolen one. It's tempting. I'd kissed it. Oh, that's so cute.
But first, when Sam Vanderpump was diagnosed with sepsis, he says he didn't know if he'd make it out alive. The Made in Chelsea star was shopping with his girlfriend last December when he suddenly felt unwell. A fever, chills and breathlessness followed. Well, the 28-year-old was in hospital for 8 days with damage to his liver and kidneys. Now an ambassador for the Sepsis Trust. He wants to help people recognise the signs, as Daisy Bucell reports.
I was chatting to him at my party and he was like, I'm single.
He's no stranger to on-screen drama.
I feel like this is a gang up on red situation and I'm like...
But Sam Vanderpump's most recent battle has been with his health.
I got really quite ill and yeah, ended up in hospital. They literally said it was 50-50 whether I'd made it or not.
The Made in Chelsea star was left fighting for his life last December after developing sepsis following the flu.
With sepsis, it can turn very serious very quickly, you know, within 24 to 48 hours. So we went from not knowing a thing, you know, not even realizing I had an infection to suddenly feeling very unwell to suddenly being in a hospital and my liver and kidney going into failure.
Sepsis happens when your immune system overreacts to an infection and starts to damage your body's own tissues and organs. There are many symptoms, but the main ones in adults are slurred speech, extreme shivering, passing no urine in a day, severe breathlessness, and mottled skin. It can be deadly.
I sort of turned around to the doctor and I sort of said, am I out the woods? And she turned around to me and she said no. You know, it was very far from that.
How are you feeling today?
Yeah, a lot better. Getting there slowly.
Sam was lucky to recover, but he says it's taken a physical and mental toll.
You don't just get out of hospital after sepsis and go straight back to your normal life. I lost, nearly 14 kilograms. It's that kind of health anxiety that follows. You feel perfectly healthy, but at any moment, because you didn't realise the signs last time, you're worried that you could just get sepsis again.
The UK Sepsis Trust says more needs to be done at each stage of sepsis treatment.
If someone you love comes through hospital having had a heart attack or a stroke, you'd be frankly pretty surprised if they weren't offered psychological support, if they weren't offered physiotherapy. Yet for people with sepsis, which is equally disabling, we throw people out onto the street at the mercy of their GPs and people around them, and that needs to change.
The government told us it's working to ensure all frontline NHS staff can recognise the signs of sepsis and is funding research to improve outcomes for sepsis survivors.
Just ask the question to your doctors, could it be sepsis? And it's those few words which could potentially save your life.
Daisy Bucell, ITV News.
More details of the signs of sepsis are up on our website. Back to sport now, and since returning to North London, Chloe Kelly has been an unstoppable force for Arsenal. The attacker started her career with the Gunners when she was just 17, and fans were delighted when she was loaned back to the club from Manchester City earlier this year. With the transfer window looming and the small matter of the Women's Champions League final in Portugal this weekend, she told Antoine Allen her heart will always be red.
How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good.
Chloe Kelly has a smile back after putting her mental health first.
And Chloe Kelly.
Early in the season, the Arsenal forward wore the blue of Manchester City. In 2020, she helped them win the FA Cup. But in January this year, she took the brave step to speak out on social media about how she felt City were treating her before her contract came to an end. She posted, "To be dictated whom I can and can't join with only 4 months left of the football season is having a huge impact on not only my career, but my mental well-being." The England star would soon rejoin her childhood club, Arsenal, on loan for the remainder of the season.
I think it's important that it's not just about football, and we're human beings and happiness is so much, and I was in a really dark place and ready to take a break from football, so to be here now in the Champions League final, I'm grateful for the opportunity Arsenal gave me to find happiness again and get my smile back on the pitch.
And what colour is your heart? Is it red or blue?
My heart? Yeah, it's definitely red. Chloe Kelly now!
Since coming home to London, the 27-year-old has shown her abundance of talent and helped Arsenal reach the Champions League final.
To be in the Champions League final, it isn't a surprise because this is what this club deserves and the players deserve and the staff deserve too. So I think it's really important that Arsenal are a huge club and ready to go into that final with no fear.
But Kelly's future remains uncertain. The final in Lisbon could be her last match. But Gunners fans are desperate for Kelly to stay.
We want you to stay, we want you to stay, Chloe Kelly, we want you to stay.
Hi Chloe, wishing you the best of luck for the final on Saturday. We'll be there cheering you on in Lisbon.
And just know, if you leave Arsenal, you'll be breaking Elvis's heart.
Oh, Elvis.
Good luck in the final, girls. I hope you bring the trophy back.
That is adorable. Yeah, it's amazing. The fans are incredible. I felt the love as soon as I got a bubble in my throat actually. I felt the love as soon as I came to this club, hearing them sing your name, and they really get behind all the players. I think when I was at other clubs, seeing Arsenal lead the way and pave the way for the women's game was incredible, but the fans are doing just that as well. So hopefully we can bring them back some silverware and give them a lot to celebrate about come Saturday.
The question all the fans want to know is, do you want to stay here come next season?
I'm very grateful to be here at this club, and hopefully things will be sorted soon. But I'm in a really good place and I'm grateful for everything this club has done for me and to get my smile back on my face. So I'll always be grateful for Arsenal Football Club.
The fact your heart's red is a little hint.
My heart will always be red.
Chloe Kelly is one of the few Arsenal players that was born in the capital. She honed her skills as a child playing in the cages in Ealing before joining Arsenal's youth team.
So many special memories, enjoying wearing the badge and loving football, and then going home and wearing my training kit in the cages where I lived in West London.
Whichever shirt she wears or takes off in celebration, the Lionesses' Euro final goal scorer is a match winner. This is her advice to young people looking to be the next Chloe Kelly.
Work hard every day, enjoy the journey, but also be yourself. I think that's really important. Enjoying the journey is, it flies by and it goes so quickly, but also being yourself on that journey, because it's a great one to have, and working hard every day to do so.
On Saturday in Lisbon, Arsenal fans will be hoping Chloe can help them beat Barcelona, and maybe winning her first cup wearing red and white will entice her to stay in North London. Antoine Allen, ITV News.
Talking of silverware, let's go back to Rags now, who's at the Spurs Stadium. Rags, so much riding on tonight. What is the atmosphere like there? Is it tense? Is it hopeful?
It's very tense. I think whenever Tottenham are in a final, it's very tense. Have a look at the stadium. Not that many people here. I think the kick-off's at 8 o'clock, so I think they're just trickling in. But listening to Chloe Kelly there could be an amazing few days for London clubs. Chelsea women could win the Champions League. Chelsea are in another final next week. Palace have just won the FA Cup. And then it just brings us back to Spurs. Will it be another Spursy night, as they don't like to say here? It's been a 17-year wait for a trophy. They're hoping to break that today, but the loser really will lose very badly, because it will be their worst season for Man U or Spurs in a generation. But the big question is for Ange Postecoglou. It's likely he's going to go at the end of the season, whether he wins or loses. He was called a clown yesterday, but just imagine if they win, he could have the last laugh.
Certainly. Listen, Rags, at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, thank you very much. Well, Sally is here now. Sally, all that talk of sunny Bilbao reminded me of last week when we had all that sunshine, but now it's all rainy. What's going on?
Well, we finally got a bit of low pressure creeping in. We had a front that came in and brought some rain. I've heard varying reports. One of our colleagues said it woke her up in the night.
Yeah.
It would have taken an elephant to wake me up last night. But we have had some heavy downpours. None tomorrow. All being well. Here we go.
Come rain or shine, Octopus Energy sponsors ITV London weekday weather.
Hello again and a very good evening to you. So you can see the raindrops. We did finally get some showers. Not enough though for many people. We have got quite a cloudy setup tomorrow. It'll be drier mostly, but a bit cooler as well. Into Friday, a decent day, but it becomes more unsettled once again as we head into the weekend. So we'll come on to that in a moment. First of all, the rest of tonight, any of those showers fade off and you can see we've got a lot of clear skies. So some of you might have a decent end to the day, but overnight it's going to get a little bit chilly without much cloud out there. We're down to those single figures and maybe even just 3 or 4 degrees in the countryside. So yes, a fresh start tomorrow morning and pretty quickly turning fairly cloudy. We've got a cold front sinking south. Where that cloud is thick enough, we might just get the odd bit of drizzle, and it's going to feel a bit chillier tomorrow. Highs of about 14 to 17 degrees. As the day ends though, that cloud tries to break up, and so we might get some sunny skies just coming through as the day comes to a close. And then into Friday, as I said, we'll hopefully have a bit of sunshine around, staying dry, but more unsettled as we head into Saturday with potential for some rain. Sunday's looking a bit better at the moment, but also potentially a bit windy into the weekend as well. We'll keep you posted. Here's the pollen.
Octopus Energy sponsors ITV London weekday weather.
Making the most of summer. Piri sponsors ITV pollen count.
Well, the rain will certainly have helped those of you with allergies. However, given the rain or not, we have still got low levels of grass pollen at the moment, but it will start to get going fairly soon. I'll see you in a bit.
Now, Sally, you spent the day at London Zoo, didn't you, where a tiny, tiny little guest is checking out.
Tiny little dormice. Now, it was a real tease because I wasn't allowed near them because they're in quarantine. But did you know that dormice are really rare and they've been in decline? So the Zoological Society of London at London Zoo are trying to bring them back, and they're sending them out into the wild, and I went to see them, well, get near to them as they're getting ready. Here we go.
They are tiny mice about to embark on a huge trip from London Zoo to the big wide world.
They are so cute. It must have been just the most wonderful project.
It is a lovely project and one that we're really happy to be involved with.
The dormice have just undergone a series of tests to make sure they are fighting fit.
So what did you have to do to them? Because they're sort of whacked out, aren't they, on what, gas or something like that?
Yeah, absolutely. So they've had an anaesthetic gas, and we're doing a full health check of them. So we want to check their eyes, ears, nose, mouth, teeth.
The reason is that they're about to be released into the wild, the first ones bred by the Zoological Society of London to do that in 20 years.
Am I right in thinking since 2000 there are 70% less dormice? Is that right, in 25 years?
Yeah, they're the sorts of declines we're seeing.
It's huge, isn't it? And why?
Habitat loss, so they've not got enough places to live that are a good enough quality for them.
Known for their fluffy tails, they're also nocturnal, allowing for perfect portraits.
If you happen to come across one during the day, they're often very sleepy, so that's when you get these pictures of them curled up asleep in someone's hand.
If I was doing this, I would have just stolen one.
It's tempting. I'd kissed it. Oh, they're so cute. Yeah.
The mice will be released in phases to ease them in, but there was one thing on my mind.
I don't really want to ask this question, but how confident are you that they won't just go out there and just get picked off by an owl or something and that's the end of them?
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, that is a risk that we take with these kinds of reintroductions. But again, because it's something that we've been doing for so long, we know that the process works.
In a few weeks, they'll be off.
So please wish them the very best from us, won't you?
We will.
Surviving not just for them, but their species. They are mini mammals with a mighty task. Sally Williams, ITV News, London Zoo.
They're very cute. That is it for now. The evening news is next with Mary, but from all of us on the London team, bye-bye. Have a great evening.